everybody, this is Austin from DV Services, and today I want to go over our FileMaker Avalara sales tax integration file. This will be a demo file available for you on our Avalara sales tax integration article, and is dealing with Avalara with its AvaTax product. So first, let's go over the setup that's going to be necessary here. Like I said, this is going to be done with the AvaTax product, so you're going to need an account with Avalara and to be able to use this AvaTax product. Once that's set up, you should have a Sandbox account, but you can reach out to them to set up a Sandbox account if you would like to have that for testing. Next, we're going to go over authentication. You can either authenticate with a user login or an account ID and license key. Authentication will happen when we actually make the call to Avalara. So just for now, we just need to put in our credentials to be used. Right here, I'm using our user login for this account. Next will be the company ID. I'll show you how to find that in your account. This is the Avalara web portal. We're on the account homepage right now. If we go up to account and then companies, you can then click on default here or the details of that company. And then in the URL at the top here, this 7-digit number is going to be your company ID. So now we're back in the file. I've set all this up. We can go and look at the sample now. This is going to be based on the sales tax from shipping from one to another address or some type of sales order. So for example here, I set this up with 2 different test addresses. These are random, and we're going to be going from Nevada to New York. So once you have all of your from and to addresses set up, you can go over to your order. So now we just set up the order. Like I said, for example, this is like a sales order, so let's build out some line items here. For instance, we can sell 5 folders at 15, and let's sell 20 pieces of paper at $5. You can add on a shipping amount to that, let's say 24, and our total is going to come out to $199. So the last tab here is our response. Right now this is empty as we have not run this, but with this total of $199 and our address we have, we can request that sales tax from Avalara. We get a response that we have successfully done that. Okay, then we can go over and see the breakdown as well as the details of that call to Avalara on what we got as a result and what happened with it. So if you're interested in the details, here we kind of give you an overview of what was required to make that request. That's an HTTP request and its response here. For the actual amounts returned, and what we want from Avalara is the total sales tax as well as the rate. So here it calculated out at $17.67. That is done by getting the rate it calculated and applying that to the order total. So that should match up here. For this $8 or 8.88% of sales tax, that is determined from the different locations that is traveled between these 2 addresses. So Avalara will have a different breakdown of the rates of those locations, and then add them together can give you the actual total rate needed. I'll go more into that in a little bit. So let's take a detour here and go look about how we did this. So here's a script we've got in this demo file. We have a simple check for making sure you actually have the correct information to run this. And we've used some calculations to build out a more simplified scripting way to actually get these URLs for this calls to happen. So I'll take a second to go and look at those. So if we go to preferences, we can see we are using the transactions create or adjust call here. If we go back to our transaction, which is the order itself, we can see this is the buildup of that request. So it's a combination of taking in the line items from our line items table, as well as applying some information to the request about how to calculate the sales tax. So we're using a sales invoice here because that will actually show up in Avalara for you to reference what it will look like on the Avalara side once you get it put through. A sales order will not show up in Avalara if you don't want those to show up there. The rest is some simple information that it needs to create this correct call and actually give us information back. Great, let's go back to the script here. We make that call to Avalara. We get back some information like I keep showing you. And the final part, like I kind of talked about before, is going through a part of that JSON return result. That would be the summary, and actually just summarizing all of the rates. I can also show you that here. If we go into this result, and we scroll down to the bottom, we'll get to a summary part here in the JSON, and each of these has a rate. So here's 4%. You can see in this jurisdiction, we've got 4.5%. And in the final one, we've got 0.375%. Summarizing those and rounding them will get you to 8.88. So that has been an overview of the Avalara sales tax integration. This is a very simple example of that, but if you try to integrate this and have questions or want something more complex, feel free to reach out to us and we can be sure to try and help you and get you through to what you need for this. Thank you.